I wanted to take all through a walk in my private garden, my backyard garden here, and show everyone some pomegranate trees, orange trees, bunch of greens I have growing here, and carrots, and strawberries, and potatoes growing back here, and a whole lot more potatoes growing over here. And you see all the flowers coming down from the pomegranate tree. It's never seen this much flowering because I added a whole bunch of nutrition to the soil this year, including all the pulp and skin from my juicing, and spring water, and Epsom salts, and my leftover coffee. I don't use much coffee, but it's a lot of Chinese herbs mixed in, which creates nitrogen in the soil. So I just want to give people an example, the idea of a victory garden, right? Here's my lemon tree. There you go with your vitamin C that all people need to prevent any virus, quote unquote, even though virus is an internal condition. When you get vitamin C, it is an antioxidant that helps flush the body of toxins, and toxins are the basis of all chronic disease and all viruses. Here's some more pots I have grown here. Some more food from eggplants, squash, more strawberries, Swiss chard, greens. And then we'll go over here and see I'm growing some lentil sprouts over here. It looks like the gardener actually cut down a couple things, not realizing what was going on. Here's some more russet potatoes that are now ready. You know potatoes are ready when the greens start falling over and withering away. That's a sign the potatoes are ready. And then I have some peppers growing here. I have some garlic growing. And I have some sweet potatoes growing. Leek is down there among the sweet potatoes. And then I'm going to take you around to the other side and show you a bit more. Here is my favorite plants for personal use, of course. This is the medicine plant. And if you look up how many different conditions are improved by cannabis, it is truly staggering. It is truly the healing plant. And Bob Marley once said that cannabis is the healing of the nation. Why? Because the healing begins within. When we restore our own health and we restore an internal homeostasis to ourselves, which is what the cannabis plant can allow for. You can juice it, which is how I'm going to use it. And when you juice it, you actually don't get the psychoactive parts of it. You get the nutritional value and the food value, which is tremendous for preventing and treating all diseases known to mankind. And there's my Carlsbad spring water. Always out. I charge it in the sun. It's in glass, so there's no plastic melting into the water. And basically, the sun charging the water makes it filled with energy that is then brought into the body, and it really helps improve the benefits of the water internally. And here I have a nice little spice growing that you put in tea, and it's really tasty. And then I have all the mint growing. And then over here I just started all these, but there is one nice little cannabis mystery plant coming out there that is from a top shelf seed. So that's my 6th legal one. And then here you go with some more mint. And then I'm going to take you up to see the apricot tree. See, this baby is going to have a lot of fruit this year. The leaves are very healthy. This tree was almost fallen down and dead when I started treating it with the soil amendments that I was talking about and the minerals, and it came right back to life. And it hadn't produced any apricots in years, but I'll show you an update later in the season, and you'll see that it is now going to produce a whole lot of apricots. Now here's another tree that was almost dead and had a bunch of rotten mandarins that were hardly, that you didn't want to eat. And last year, there was thousands of them, and they were phenomenal. I started taking over the tree around July of last year, and if you could just see it, it's growing in every which direction, and it's really doing well. So I can't even imagine how many mandarins are going to come out of this tree this year, but I'm going to film it later on in the year so you can get the update. And this is probably one of my favorite trees because figs are not only amazing for people, but as you'll see as the year goes, hundreds of birds come in this tree and eat the figs. And that's true of the pomegranates too. If you leave some leftover pomegranates, I usually try to leave about 10% of them. The animals from squirrels and many kinds of birds will come by and eat them. So a lot of great nutrition for the animals can be had by leaving some leftover fruit, and honoring nature by leaving some for the rest of the circle of life. And then I always take the seeds and I find a place to plant them wherever it may be, and there's plenty of space in this world to find a place to plant seeds where, maybe you're not going to benefit from it, but you're increasing the beauty of the world by planting these fruiting trees everywhere, and you're helping the animals sustain their population and stay healthy. So just want to bring a little update from my personal victory garden, and I encourage all to start growing their own food as much as possible, and just start with what you have. And out of small things, one day big things come. And there is no more greater place where we see that truth than when we look to nature. We put a single seed in the ground, and look at this, hundreds of pounds of fruit will come off each of these trees. So it's just a tremendous investment of your time, and it brings a lot of joy and happiness to my life. I grew up in the inner city and never really grew much anything. So this is a whole new chapter in my life, and I have to say it's the most therapeutic and rewarding experience outside of being a father, with my own seed. Working with nature and the seeds the Creator gave us is truly a joy. So I just wanted to share this with all and encourage all to get self-reliant and self-sustainable. And what an improvement comes to your psychology and mindset when you know that you can go outside in your own garden and you can find all the food and fruit that you need to sustain yourself without ever having to go to a store. And then we realize that all of life comes from nature, and we begin to appreciate it more. So anyways, best of luck to all of you on your growing journey. I literally had no experience, didn't know what I was doing, so I've just learned, and I encourage all to do the same. You learn through practice. So saying, well, I don't know how to do it, that's true as long as you stay in that state and that condition. But once you start to practice, more resources will come to you, books, magazines, videos, and I'm going to volunteer at a professional farm tomorrow morning so I can learn from the best and see what I can incorporate into my practice. So best of luck. Talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in.